Today we're doing two-step experiments. Should have written the title down. Hooray! Have you heard of with replacement and without replacement before? So it's like you're picking a marble out of a bag, so you could pick a second marble without putting the first one back. That's called without replacement. You could take a second marble, but you put the first one back. That's called with replacement. So I'm going to do an example of each of those today. So we're just looking at two-step experiments. So we're doing two things. Two things, right? So basically today is all about board games. Here's a nice picture. Sailors of Catan. If you ever get the chance, why not have a go? And here's basically the info you need to know. I've already said it and I'm going to say it again in the examples. We use these tables here to do the sample space for the two-step experiments. Okay, let's do the first example. List the sample space. So we've got the first roll and the second roll. So what are all the possible numbers? So this is how we do the sample space for a two-step experiment using a two-way table. So we're just going to list every possible outcome. We put the first roll first, etc. This is the sample space. How many types of rolls could I do? How many are there? 36 possible outcomes. There is only one outcome that's 1, 5. So that means it's 1 out of 36 total outcomes. Okay, let's have a go at D. So we're going to do some different ones now. What's the probability of a double? So how many doubles are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the probability of a double is 6 out of the total, which is 36. Let's do the next one. The probability of the sum of at least 10. So we've got to count all the ones that are greater than or equal to 10. So that one, those are equal to 10, those are equal to 11, and those are equal to 12. So how many? 6 out of... Oh yeah, you should simplify these. Sum of not equal to 7. So which ones are 7? All of these. So the sum of not equal to 7, you can do 1 minus equal to 7, which is 1 minus 6 out of 36. Which is 30 out of 36. Okay, so that's not 7. You can do 1 minus the probability of 7. E. Probability of the sum of 12 given that the sum is at least 10. So the probability sum of 12 given the sum at least 10. So we're looking at just 10 or more. So from 10 or more, what's the probability of 12? So if we just look at these, how many are there that are at least 10?
6.
6. So how many out of those are 12? So there's one chance out of 6 that we get 12. So that was an example of with replacement. So the dice resets every time you roll the dice. Now I'm going to do one without replacement. So you got 2 letters from the word stat without replacement. So we're going to construct a table. If I pick an S, I can't pick the next S. So that one, I can't have 2 S's. Does that make sense? So we're looking at the word stat. Here's our sample space. So I can't pick that T twice. These are different t's, so I can have those two t's. All right, so let's move on to part B. It's pretty similar to the first example. What's the probability of t, comma A? 1 out of how many? Not 16. 12. So in without replacement questions, it's less outcomes. 2 t's. What's the probability of 2 t's? So there's this one and this one. So 2 out of 12, 1 out of 6. The probability of a t and an s. So this might trip you up. A t and an s. So does the t have to be first? No. So be careful of the wording. So it could be st or it could be ts. So 4 out of 12. Last one, this is a given statement. So selecting 2 t's given that at least 1 t is selected. So we're looking at all of the ones with 1 t, so the probability of 2 t's given 1 t. So we have a look. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that have 1 t, and how many that have 2 t's. So there's, out of all of the ones that have 1 t, let's say you pick in Scrabble, you've picked a t, and now you want to know the chance of you picking a second t. Given that you've already picked 1 t, it would be 1 out of 5, or 20% chance. Yeah, if you didn't see this before, I didn't really go through it. Settlers of Catan, you have this guy called the robber. See the little grey figure? So if you roll a 7, you get to move the robber. And you can see from here, 7 is the most common. 6 out of 36 rolls, it's going to be a 7. Where a 12, not as common. There's only 1 out of 36 that could be a 12.